guys, it's Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that I do not like about the 2021 Camaro Lt1. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I've personally owned this particular Camaro Lt1 for the last 3 months now, so I can definitely speak on some things that I do not like. I know a lot of YouTubers that have this car have also done videos about things they do not like, so I'm going to try to not mention things that are repetitive. I'm going to try to give my personal perspective on this vehicle. So I'm not going to mention things such as blind spots. I'm not going to mention visibility too much, although the rear end does flare out quite a bit. So when it comes to, I guess, parallel parking or just reversing into parking spots, some people may find trouble, but if you just angle your mirror out a little bit wider, as you can see right there, you'll start to see your wheel. So it's really not too bad once you get used to it. But anyway, let's step back a little bit. So you don't get the Camaro SS front end. It's more similar to the standard V6 or 4-cylinder Camaros, but it's not a big deal. I personally like the styling, so I'm not going to mention that either. But since we're out here, so the first thing that I definitely do not like about this car, now I love the color. I love this red hot red on this Camaro Lt1. However, I don't like that it's not a metallic. I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely a flat color, but it still looks pretty good. So my complaint about this paint is that it chips very easily. I don't know if you can pick it up through the camera over here, but right there on the side of the door, you have a couple serious chips. Now that's not from me opening the door onto another car. That's actually from me having my keys in my pocket, and I opened the door and it smashed against my keys, and it literally ripped a chunk, 2 little chunks of paint off of my door. So if I actually did open this door into a car, I could only imagine what the result of that would be, but I'd rather not find out. But anyway, since we're out here, the second complaint that I just don't like about this Camaro Lt1 is the fact that, not that we have 245 all-season tires back here. That's completely understandable since we're trying to cut costs and undercut vehicles such as the Camaro 1SS and the Mustang GT. But what I don't like is that we have an 8.5 inch width on our rear rim here. So for most of you guys that know, the Camaro SS has a 9.5 inch rear width in its rim. So you can fit a much wider tire. You can fit a 305 summer tire on that vehicle, which allows you to basically just floor the car off the line with no issues whatsoever. But this car is limited because of its 8.5 inch rims. You really can't put anything over a 265. You can maybe fit a 275. I know there are people who do it, but that's when you're really starting to push the limits on these rear rims. And even with a 275, you're still going to have wheel spin off the line. So it's just unfortunate that this car comes with 8.5 inch rims. I'm not a fan of that. But that's about it when it comes to the exterior of this car. No particular complaints outside of those two. So let's step in this Camaro Lt1. Yes, the materials here are a little bit cheap. They're going to be a lot of hard plastic, which I'm not particularly a fan of. But outside of that, I'm really not going to complain about the materials on the door panel, because we are selling a bang for your buck sports car. So the materials that you do use for the most part are going to be high quality. So there's really no complaints outside of that. My complaint, the first complaint that I have in this interior, is the fact that these seats, although they are comfortable and the bottom is very supportive, I have no problems with that, is the top. These bolsters are extremely relaxed. Now, I'm not like I'm an average sized male, I guess. I'm about 185 pounds at 6 foot, but I feel like I'm a little bit small for these seats. Now, they are pretty supportive. I'm not going to complain about them too much. This is getting to be like a little bit of a nitpicky complaint for me. But for those of you guys who are, I guess, smaller than like 6 foot, 185, you would really prefer a seat that's in like the Ford Mustang, possibly even like a Focus RS. That's an extremely aggressive seat. I personally don't find those seats very comfortable because they just jab into my ribs, I feel like, and I feel like those seats are meant for people that are closer to like 160 pounds. But anyway, these seats, they could be more supportive. I know that there are vehicles in this segment with more supportive base seats, but they're really not that bad for the most part. But if you're a smaller dude, you will want more supportive seats. But anyway, let's step into this Camaro Lt1, and let's just start her up too to get this air blowing. Whew. sounds great. But okay, so the next complaint is this center console. It is very nice leather material, definitely can't complain about that, but there is basically zero padding at all. It is almost hard as a rock. I would compare the level of softness of this armrest to an average vehicle's dashboard. So if you guys know, like a dashboard that's not leather wrapped, it will feel just a soft padded plastic. So like most vehicles that don't have hard plastic like this vehicle has, which I'm also not complaining about, but the vehicles that have a padded plastic dashboard, I will compare that level of softness to what this armrest feels like. So definitely not a fan of this. This is a serious complaint. I really do wish that Chevrolet ends up making a softer armrest for this car, because it's seriously not comfortable. If you're driving for more than an hour, you're gonna really want to put something like a sweatshirt over this console, because it's gonna feel like you're driving like on a sheet of wood. Like, it's not comfortable at all. So I really hope that Chevrolet fixes this before they stop making the Camaro. But so my final complaint about this Camaro Lt1 is the gas pedal. So nothing too serious, but if you guys see, it is mounted on the floor. So in order to use it, you, same thing, push it, but it's just not, you see how the brake pedal is mounted on the top of the column? I really prefer those types of brake pedals, because I like to drive automatic cars like with my heel, just transferring back and forth. But as you can see, if you drive like that, you're gonna end up hitting the side of this tunnel. So you're gonna have to seriously drive like committed when you're driving on the gas with your heel right underneath it, which can be a little bit annoying, having to transfer back and forth for a lot of people who like to drive without really moving their heel. But anyway, I don't want to complain about that too much. All right, guys, so that was about it for the things that I do not like about the 2021 Camaro Lt1. This video was not easy to make. I love this car a lot. I'm very happy with my purchase, but I do want to let you guys know about things that I'm not too happy about. So when it comes to the paint, you are going to want to get a clear bra for this car. It's extremely expensive, I understand, but if you do plan on owning this car for a very long time, I highly recommend it. But so about the rims, you can't fit a wide tire on this car, but even with like, I guess, a square 255 summer performance setup on this car, it'll definitely help. I do plan on doing something like that in the near future, so if you guys have any suggestions when it comes to performance tires, I know Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's are considered the best, but I'm looking for something a little bit more towards the bang for your buck side like I usually do. I am considering Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s, but you guys can give me some advice and I will gladly listen. But anyway, so about this vehicle's center console, it is extremely hard, definitely not something that GM put a lot of effort into, and I really do wish that they fix this before they cancel the Camaro altogether. But when it comes to these seats, like I said, they're not too supportive, but they do still do a decent job. But before we talk about this gas pedal, let's just step onto this road real quick. Yeah, this car is pretty sweet. But okay, so about the gas pedal, like I mentioned before, I personally am not a fan of floor mounted gas pedals. If this car had a top column mounted gas pedal, I would definitely prefer it. But all in all, I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you guys think. Give me some advice, let me know what I can improve on. I would definitely like to hear you guys' input. But all in all, have a great day.